I have vodka.
I already drank this whole fucking thing, and we haven't even started yet.
I think this is going to be a serious video. Like, he's actually going to... This isn't going to be, like, parody zombies lore. Like, it's going to be real zombies lore. You just got to... You got to give him a second, okay? Alright, guys, it's finally happening. You asked us for it multiple times. Nick's going to be the teacher today. He's going to be teaching us, me and Tim, who know nothing about zombie lore, everything that he knows about zombie lore, but the fun twist is he's just going to be doing it from memory. He's not going to be fact-checking any of this against the Wikipedias, the interwebs, the games. This is just off of the Nicholas Dome.
If this gets 1,000 views and if we get to 100 likes, I will research it. Then I will do a part 2. If this video gets to 500 views, I'll do drunk Fallout lore.
Oh, bonus goal, stretch goal. Yeah.
That's literally smaller. Nick, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, and I have my blackboard.
Nick, have you played CoD Zombies before?
I don't believe so. What is this?
Do you know what CoD Zombies is?
It sounds like a type of fish that has been resurrected.
It is a CoD zombie. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. So these are fish zombies. They eat scrotums. So we're all safe. Anyway, let's begin.
I guess I'll start at the beginning.
He's doing he's some visuals just to aid in his explanations too.
But yeah, this is Takeo, Nikolai, Dempsey. I guess I should give him some hair.
Just to be clear, you have no you didn't even pre-write bullet pointed notes or anything, right? You're literally just gonna go right now from the dome, right?
Okay, so we have a baseball player with a sword, a guy with a little beanie on who's holding a bong.
That's a ukulele.
That's fair. Okay. That's a ukulele.
It's Eric Cartman with an ukulele.
We've got another guy with a baseball hat who's got a little coin purse.
That looked like that.
Was that like a rice hat? Like
it looked like a rice hat. I was like, ooh, maybe with the slant, maybe the angry eyes. I shouldn't do that.
Are those slant eyes or are those fucking angry eyes?
He's angry because he's always angry. He's Tank Dempsey. He's always angry.
Oh, I thought that was. Oh, the sword would be Takeo.
I was trying to stray away from the just casual racism of having slant eyes.
You made him have the opposite of slant eyes? I feel like ignoring his
don't ignore his heritage.
Is more racist.
That's why I gave him a katana.
And then an American baseball hat. He's like a white dad.
Hey, my name's Greg. I found this sword.
On the right.
It's the rising sun.
No, it's not. You drew a musical note with motion lines.
I thought we were starting at the beginning because in the beginning it was just dudes that crashed a plane and knocked her on
You don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Teacher, can I go to the bathroom?
Teacher.
Yes.
Teacher, can I go to the bathroom on Ron in the classroom?
That's not this type of classroom.
All right, teach me about zombies.
All right, I'll teach you guys. So, left to right, we've got Takeo running on a skateboard, and then we've got Nikolai, who's trapped in a bubble of his own creation. Can you tell I'm like 2 drinks deep at this
guys? I think this is going to be a serious video. He's actually gonna. This isn't going to be parody zombies lore. It's going to be real zombies lore.
It is going to be real.
You got to give him a second, okay?
I got to get into the swing of it. So, you're right, Ron. You started us off with saying that the first map is Nocturne, which 4 U.S. soldiers get dropped into Nazi Germany during the outbreak that happened at Der Riese, and it's just a different part of the country, I believe. This is, again, I want to stress, all from memory. Whether or not it's true is subjective. Yeah, essentially that's all it is there's a plane crash and there are 4 soldiers stuck there trying to survive.
I'm lost. Where did Der Riese come in?
Der Riese comes in because they're having the outbreak that these four bastards.
So all the zombies started at Der Riese?
Yes and no. You're asking me questions at the right. So I guess I'll start off with where the zombies come from, because
I don't know that.
So they come from Element 115. They come from people being exposed to Element 115, and it slowly kills them. That's what powers most of the wonder weapons and the teleporters, and it's this mysterious element that when the games came out, wasn't a discovered element. It is now a discovered element. It came from meteorites. One landed in Tunguska. That's why Call of the Dead happened. Again, that's like nothing to do with the main story. A little bit to do with the main story, but nothing major.
Okay.
And then there's one that landed in Japan, which is where Shinonuma happened. There's one that landed in near Deriz, I want to say, so because they had to collect it so that they could start researching teleporters and wonder weapons and zombies and all that. There was one that landed in the jungles of Shangri-La, and that was a tiny part, I believe.
So these are all meteors?
Yeah, these are all bits of element 115.
What does anybody know where it came from?
It just came from space. That's about it.
Okay, but that hasn't been like revealed. They don't dive further into that yet.
It has, but I will have to digress into the Apothicons and like all that like Lovecraftian shit, and I wanted to get like the easy stuff out of the way. Well, okay, now that I brought it up, I guess I'll. So there's this race of beings called the Apothicons, and they're at war.
Can we get a diagram of the Apothicons, please?
The Apothicons. Okay. Let's see. Apothicons are angry eyes. No, that's not good. Angry eyes. So they're Lovecraft-looking motherfuckers. These are tentacles they're big like space worms with lots of tentacles and shit.
Okay. All right.
And so you know the big guy that swallows you in Revelations.
Yeah.
That's an Apothicon.
Okay.
And so the Apothicons and the Keepers, which are the like stand-up floaty guys that have like the robes down at the bottom with the tentacles coming out. That just give it arms. There we go. Give them angry eyes because they gotta be angry. My MS Paint skills are terrible.
That's just a dude like splattering diarrhea.
The Apothicons are these big bastards, and the Keepers are the stand-uppy guys that have lots of tentacles, and they're constantly at war with each other for millions of years, and eventually the Keepers seal away all the Apothicons in another dimension called the Dark Ether. The Dark Ether? Maybe it's just the Ether. So one of the Apothicons was named the Shadow Man, and he's the guy who blows up Revelations and like causes all the timey-wimey fucky stuff. In order to free himself, he threw out a bunch of... I got dinner, boys. So the Shadow Man sends out these 115 meteors into the universe in order to essentially fuck up whatever planet it finds.
Jesus Christ, this video's already gone off track.
So the 115 meteors were sent out into the universe and created zombies on Earth.
Okay.
Don't ask me how or why that was his plan. It does apparently come to fruition because he does escape eventually. But so Richtofen originally started his testing for 115 with Dr. Maxis at Deriz. And they discovered zombies, they discovered teleportation, they discovered wonder weapons and like how to make them for like infinite energy sources. And so in the teleportation tests that Richtofen is doing, he's actively trying to teleport himself, and he ends up getting teleported to let's see. Oh, so he gets teleported to the MPD, the pyramid at Moon, and he touches the pyramid, and that's when he starts hearing voices. And the pyramid has a connection to the Aether. So here, I'll draw the pyramid.
It's actually not a bad pyramid.
He gets zapped by it, and now he's hearing voices telling him, you know, to kill people and such. After he touches it, he gets teleported again, and he gets teleported to Shangri-La. And while he's at Shangri-La, he finds the focusing stone, which is just a very compressed, tiny version of the 115 meteorite.
Okay. Is that what he's holding in his hand? Is that what that is?
No, that is his hand. He is Zig Heiling.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he's at Shangri-La, and the natives worship him as like a god because he knows how to use science and stuff. And eventually he makes his way back to Duriz, and they're like, oh my god, we thought you were dead, holy shit. And he's like, I found this thing on the fucking moon, we need to get to the moon. Essentially, because they have advanced technology through this Element 115, they build rockets and go to the moon. And they're working with Russia. Maybe not. Maybe they're not working with Russia. I'm trying to remember where Ascension fits in there, because I think the Russians also were studying 115, and they were also trying to get to the moon. That's where the monkeys in Ascension came from, and that's why there's a big rocket. But anyway, they get to the moon, and they make Eagle Base, which is the map moon.
Okay.
And after a while, they're studying the MPD, the pyramid device, and they're also doing other things. What are they doing? Oh, losing the war.
Nick's like, today I'm going to be teaching you guys zombie history, but there's one little thing we need to go over first. World War II.
They do end up having to move facilities. This is fucking cursed. It's been 20 minutes of me just rambling about nothing.
That's the point.
Oh, yes.
So they have to move facilities to Verrucht because they're getting pushed out by the Americans. And so they essentially abandon Duriz.
Okay.
Was your burger cooked?
Yeah.
Nick eats raw
I
beef.
swear I cooked them for
On
like
cam.
20 fucking minutes.
Touch it!
Ice cold.
Touch it! It's cold. Fuck it. Stay!
It's good enough.
I won't eat mine.
Throw it in the microwave for a few minutes.
Disgusting. What a criminal.
So they move to Verrucht and they do testing on 3 prisoners of war. 1 Russian, 1 American, 1 Japanese, which I don't know why they had a Japanese prisoner of war, whatever, and 1 Mexican.
Where did that guy go? You mean to ttell me we were close to having a bandito in Call of Duty Zombies?
Yes, there was. He shows back up in Black Ops 4.
Can we get a diagram of this 4th guy? I need visualization. I'm a visual learner.
Let's see. He's got...
A sombrero.
No, I was going to say a cowboy hat, because he could be a cowboy. No, I shouldn't give him those kinds of eyes.
Nick, just draw with your heart.
And all the hate inside of it. Is that his mustache?
Yeah, that's his mustache.
Okay, I like the little half smirk.
You can see where I laughed, where I'm laughing and squiggled the line. All right, how do I make a revolver?
That's
there we
good
go.
enough. I don't know what...
He's got a...
Oh, he's got a huge
belt.
schlong. He's got a huge Mexican ding dong.
So that's Pablo Mariner. Verrucht happens, and there's just essentially an outbreak, and the Americans show up, and they're like trying to contain it because they're also trying to find Group 935.
Okay, hold on. Clarification. So they were doing tests at Verrucht on these characters on screen.
Correct.
Okay.
But wasn't Tank one of the Marines that went in?
Right. So that is a good observation, Ron. Mr. Pablo Mariner, there's a voice line in Call of the Dead where Mr. Pablo Mariner is getting operated on and his spleen falls out on the fucking floor and he dies.
F in the chat for Pablo.
So when Verrucht happened and the Americans were captured after they killed a bunch of zombies, I guess, I don't fucking know. There's not much story in Duriz, or not in Verrucht. Tank became the new guy.
So they like
the new Pablo.
Okay.
They just replaced Pablo with Tank, and Nikolai and Takeo, they were just like there all along.
Okay.
Shangri-La happens. There's an outbreak at... Did I say Shangri-La? I may have said Shangri-La. I do that a lot. So yeah, they show up at Shinonuma. There's an outbreak happening at the Rising Sun facility, and Richtofen has to go get his book.
Hold the fuck on. Richtofen has the other 3 characters captive doing experiments on them, and then all of a sudden they're just all friends and they waltz their way to Shinonuma together?
Pretty much. You joke, but that is essentially what happens. He like brainwashed them so that they won't like turn on him.
Okay.
I never said it was a solid story or I had a solid grasp on the story.
Okay.
I did about like 5-10 years ago.
Okay.
So they go and get Richtofen's diary, which has all of his notes from the moon and from Shangri-La. And so after that, they need to go to Duriz to get... What do they need at Duriz? I don't remember what they needed at Duriz. They just go to Duriz to grab something, essentially. And while they're there, they fight zombies, and they get into one of the teleporters, and someone fires the Wunderwaffe, and it short circuits the teleporter and sends them to Kino der Toten.
In 1965, right?
Yep.
20 years later. I know that because it's the literal comic strip that's the loading screen for Kino der Toten that we've been playing like every day for 10 years of our lives.
I have never once paid attention to anything on that loading screen.
The comic strip is literally them under ease, and they get into the teleporter, and then you see electricity, and then it's like 1945, 1955, 1965, and then it's like, what are we doing here, Richtofen? And then that's like the comic strip.
So they get to Kino. They don't really do much in Kino. I don't really know what else they get up forward from Kino. So the next map is Ascension. Somehow they travel from Germany to Russia. They get to Ascension and they're looking for the Casimir mechanism.
Nick, can you expand your diagram and draw like a little Indiana Jones plane flying from Germany to Russia so we can see what that's like? I want you to keep doing more illustrations as the story goes on.
All right, let's see. This is Russia. Sorry, USSR.
Okay.
Okay.
Germany.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's.
Can you draw a plane at the halfway point, just so we really get the idea?
Even though we don't know that they took a plane.
Well, they did now. It's fill in the blank.
Okay. They like bought plane tickets. They like they're like checking bags and stuff. Even though they've like teleported everywhere else in the story.
All right. Yeah. Cool. So. Okay, yeah. Let's go, boys, to Germany. Yeah, we go to space. Okay, yep.
So from there, they get the Casimir mechanism.
All right, what does that look like?
Actually, I can make that very easily. It is literally just like a shining ball of light.
Cool.
That's one of my testicles.
Is the Casimir mechanism? No, that's Yuri, one of the scientists at. I don't know what the Casimir mechanism looks like. It probably is just like I don't know, something like you know, like that.
Okay. That's a. Okay.
This is where the Casimir goes in, and this is where the mechanism happens.
Okay.
So they get the Casimir mechanism from doing the Easter egg, and they put Yuri to rest, who is one of the souls in at the Ascension facility.
Can we get an illustration of Yuri?
He was the ball of light.
Oh.
He was Ron's testicle.
Oh, okay.
So after that, they go to Shangri-La, which is not disclosed where it is. Some people think it's on Mars, but I think it's stupid.
This is the alternate history class. Now, some people would tell you Columbus was a bad guy. I really don't think so.
It's not just like Mayan fucking temples or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like an Incan temple somewhere or some shit.
Yeah, it sure seems like it.
Like Mesoamerican.
And if Richtofen returned from there, like it's got to be somewhere on Earth.
What are we calling the crew of these 4 characters?
They're Ultimus. So from Duries, they get the focusing stone that Richtofen left there, the compressed meteorite.
Yep.
Somewhere between these 2 maps, they teleport. Where's Siberia? Somewhere over here, Siberia, to Call of the Dead. They're behind a locked door in Call of the Dead, and they have like the actors do the Easter egg and get them the Richtofen's rod or something like that, or it's the Vril device or something. I don't know.
Excuse me, is there anyone out there that would be willing to help? Hello?
How do they get the actors to do it?
They just ask them, literally.
Through the door.
Yeah, through the door. They're like, hey.
Hey, shit sick! I see you! We need a rod.
So, once they get the rod, the Casimir mechanism, and the focusing stone,
okay,
now they go to the moon. And once they're at the moon, the MPD, this is the Easter egg we just did.
Yep.
Just a few days ago.
Yep.
There's the big dial on the front, and they get a different orb with different like little markings on it, and they put it in to the pyramid.
Perfect. Okay, I'm following
with
now.
with this rod. Pyramid opens, and Samantha Maxis. Oh, I guess I didn't ever bring up Samantha Maxis before this.
Yeah,
it's the daughter of his older
the
partner.
daughter of Dr. Maxis
that Richtofen worked with.
Richtofen tried to kill the 3 of them by locking them in a teleporter at Duries and trying to just randomly teleport them. Maxis got sent to the ether.
Why did he do that?
He wanted to to control Group 935 because Hitler lost the war and they wanted to pull the plug and just like give up and go work for the Americans, but Richtofen didn't. He wanted to keep researching the MPD.
Okay.
And so Samantha Maxis,
Jesus.
hey, turn your phones off in class there, bud. Samantha Maxis, after they got teleported,
So Samantha
Maxis
was
got
there
sent
with
to the
her
ether
dad?
with her dad and Fluffy, her dog.
Okay.
So the E is for ether. Maxis meant to the ether, and then Samantha got teleported into the MPD, and that's how she controls the zombies. That's why all the zombies are going after Richtofen and that crew, is because
she's pissed.
feels slighted. She's like, fuck that guy.
Okay. So she is now a hive mind.
Yeah, she's like this godlike being. And so when the Vril device gets put into the MPD, Richtofen transfers his consciousness into the MPD and swaps it with Samantha. So Samantha's in Richtofen's body, and that is Moon. So once they swap, Maxis, who is in the ether, tells Samantha, Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takeo to blow up the Earth so that essentially it's a mutually assured destruction.
Gotcha.
So that Richtofen in the MPD can't actually do anything. So they blow up, they send rockets out, 3 big rockets. That's the end of the Moon Easter egg. It blows up the Earth. That's Black Ops 1 and World at War.
All right. Yeah, if we could just get a clean slate for Black Ops 2.
All right, viewers at home, you don't know with all the cuts that the editor's been doing, but we've been recording this for 5 hours so far. So we're gonna have to take a recess. We're gonna have to take a recess and go kiss our loved ones, and then we're gonna come back when we're rejuvenated, and we're gonna keep going for probably another 5 hours. We'll be back
the next day.
I have vodka.
I've already drank this whole fucking thing, and we haven't even started yet.
Here's some B-roll of me just beating my meat out of frame.
Editor, can we get B-roll of actual bees?
The veins in my fucking neck, dude.
What are you bro?
What is bro doing?
The best time to wear a striped sweater is all the time. One with a collar, turtleneck. That's the kind.
Man, there's gonna be some insane footage of me that exists on the internet now. Okay, so the fucking Earth is nuked. Go on, Nicholas.
So we have to introduce 4 more characters.
Boo! I don't want anything except for the characters that I like.
Here, I'll put them down here. We'll do. I don't even remember their names.
Can we get Bingish, Schmingus, Kringus, and Dingus?
Teletubbies?
Yeah.
Those are the dark Teletubbies. Those are just like the horrorcore Teletubbies. Editor, can we get an AI like image of just like give the prompt of like horrorcore Teletubbies?
Okay, so that's Bingus.
Okay.
So that's Bingus. He eats human flesh and has a vest with many pockets. I think his name is
Bingus.
Russman.
What map would I know these characters from?
These are the characters from Transit.
Oh yeah, I couldn't even tell you a single one.
This is the girl. She's got a ponytail.
You know what? I was gonna say
think,
Schmingish
probably.
sounds feminine. She's got a weird necklace on.
Those are boobs.
I
I don't know why they're
I
above
know.
her collar line, but
Nick, is Kringus gonna be pulling her hair? Because goddamn, that ponytail is fucking erect, dude.
All right, so this is
and-
Kringus.
so this is Marlton. He's the dweeb, and you can tell he's a dweeb because he's got a fucking calculator in his hand.
Hold up.
And then
this is Dingus. Bingus, Schmingus, Kringus, and Dingus. We got it.
Just for
And
you
this
viewers
is-
at home, Tim is completely sober.
Look at how he's got one short leg and a really long penis. That's weird.
That's not. Hey,
Shit, hide that.
don't make fun of
he
my.
is-
Don't make fun of my kind. It's not weird at all. It's totally normal to have one short leg and a really long
Oh.
penis.
I need to get my pencil back. There we go. Oh, not what I needed. Okay, oopsie.
Does he
This
have
guy
braces?
has-
What's up with the mouth?
He's got a beard. This will come into play later. So
Wait, what is that?
you'll see. You'll see.
What's the first guy's name, Tim?
It's Bingus.
Bingus. Is Bingus holding an arrow?
He is not holding an arrow. He is holding a human arm, which or a zombie arm, which he
Okay.
consumes. This guy eats zombie flesh, and because he eats zombie flesh, talks to Richtofen.
Okay.
He hears the voice of. He is part of a cult named the Flesh, I think they're called, and they kill.
Okay.
They eat zombies.
So this is after the Earth is nuked.
This is after the Earth is nuked. The Earth is literally like fucking blown to shit. It is all just like craggy mountains with fire shooting out of it and lava.
Right. Okay. So that explains like the bus depot and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why there's, everything's fucked.
So 1 year into the new Trump presidency, got it?
Okay.
Essentially, these two are essentially nobodies. This is
Schmingus and
Marlton,
Kringus.
Marlton and Cindy, I think her name is. I don't actually fucking know. So this guy, this fucking Joker right here, he looks like he's got an anvil on his head. Looks like he's got his head fucking squashed in with an anvil.
A chef hat?
He's an idiot and is constantly listening to Richtofen in his head. He hears him telepathically because he's eating zombie flesh. These two essentially do nothing for the story. They just come along for the ride.
They just
Okay.
exist to fill slots 3 and 4 for the player.
So the writing got really good around this time then.
It's fucking phenomenal.
Okay.
So Russman, this guy, he's got the beard, and he has like memory lapses, so he doesn't remember his entire past, but he was a part of what was known as Broken Arrow, which was a CIA project. Yeah, it's a Broken Arrow.
I assumed that because Bingus wasn't holding an arrow, that guy was also not holding an arrow.
So this guy was part of a project called Broken Arrow, where it was the Americans who were also studying the MPD in secret, while they had agents on the moon studying the MPD, and they were trying to recreate it in Nuketown. That's where Nuketown comes in. Nuketown is literally just like the entire reason for the map existing is so that they can tie the plot to the Americans and show that like the world has gotten fucked. And so that's where Marlton, this guy, he was maybe a scientist, I don't fucking know, maybe a civilian, something like that, who was at Nuketown. And like if you interact with the door in the Black Ops 2 map, that's the like bunker in one of the backyards, you can hear him being like, guys, can I get let out, please? I gotta go study the zombies.
Who do you play as on Nuketown?
Nuketown, you play as CIA agents. It doesn't really
Flame.
matter to the lore,
The
other
Flame.
than this guy is introduced. The girl, she's just the girl, and she's sassy and angry. That's why she's got angry eyes and boobs. They meet up for transit. They all meet up because these two chuckle fucks found a bus and have been driving around, and they're like, "Oh, all you guys get on! Like we'll all survive together." And then transit starts. And in transit, the Easter egg is literally just like, "Oh yeah, you could either side with Richtofen, which is hat guy, and then there's Maxis, who I don't know if you remember Maxis, but
he's the little girl's dad.
Yeah, and he's Richtofen's old partner from before he met the other people.
correct,
But
he is stuck in.
Technically, now that Richtofen possesses the little girl, it's technically Richtofen's dad, meaning Richtofen can call him daddy, and it's not weird.
Shh, I'll let him cook. But so you can either side the Easter eggs on all of Black Ops 2 go one of two ways. There's Maxis, who's the good side. You can either go with him, or you can help Richtofen, who's the bad side.
Oh, I thought Maxis was bad.
Maxis was bad until he's bad for the Ultimus crew. He's bad for these guys. But Richtofen doesn't have any good plans. I mean, he literally wants to like control the zombies and just like wipe out the earth. He's fucking insane.
I know we're getting ahead here, but I thought that there was like future Richtofen was good and past Richtofen was evil.
Correct. I will get to that.
Okay, I'll pump the brakes. I'll pump the brakes.
This guy, the one that's controlling Samantha, is past Richtofen. He is Ultimus Richtofen, and Primus Richtofen is the good guy. So in transit, you can either help Maxis or Richtofen, but the Canon is helping Maxis.
Okay.
And if you help Maxis, it's essentially all four. I forget what these guys are called, but like these guys, all their maps are.
That's the Gringus crew.
The Gringus group are all. Oh, Victis. Thank you, Tim. Actually, that helped me. The Victis crew help out Maxis because it's the right thing to do, and he essentially needs to get radio towers to align on Earth so that he can go to the ether and fight Richtofen for control. It's been a while since I've remembered that, but so Victis eventually ends up helping Maxis, and because of that, Maxis takes over and forces Richtofen's body or Richtofen's soul to go into a zombie corpse and become like essentially a shambling zombie for eternity. And that is how Black Ops 2 ends. It's really
hold on, Drunk Nick. We didn't touch on there being the past Richtofen and future Richtofen.
I was about to get to that.
But you said Black Ops 2 ends and Origins is part of Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2, the Victis story ends. All they do is help Maxis to get power so that zombie Richtofen can be created. And this is.
But at this point, you don't know that there's two different Richtofens, right? You just think it's Richtofen. Okay.
And then Origin happens. And all that fucking lore goes right out the window. So Origins, I'll draw a better crew for Origins. It's Tank Dempsey, Nikolai, he's got the hat with the weird side things, the Yushenka, and his
bottle of vodka.
With his bottle of vodka.
Even though it looks more like a beer can, but that's
it's more of a thermos. A thermos of vodka. There's Takeo, who has a very wide stance, apparently.
He has a sword when he's young, right?
Yeah, he's got a sword the whole time.
Oh, okay.
You know what? You didn't make the eyes slanted. Good on you, Nick.
Yeah.
No, Dempsey's are, though.
Yeah.
Dempsey's angry eyes. Here, I'll give him.
There you go. It's like a little what? Okay.
That's better.
There we go. And then, so this is what's known as the Primus crew.
So this is what's known as small PP Richtofen.
And the Primus crew are good.
Richtofen doesn't have a hat.
These guys are the good. Oh, I'll give him. He does not have a hat in this, actually.
He doesn't.
He's got his hair.
Hold on. So old Richtofen is evil, young Richtofen is good?
Yes, so...
I thought it was the other way around.
No, old Richtofen... Where am I? There we go. This fucking guy, this fucking bastard who's hailing Hitler...
Yeah.
He's actually evil. He is...
okay. I had it backwards.
He has heard the whispers of the Apothicons telling him to fuck up the world. And he's corrupted by that.
And he went, okay.
He literally went, okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
This guy is a good guy because he's not yet heard. He's not. It is so the origin. Origins starts at World War One.
Yep.
Origins takes place during World War One.
Yep.
So that is significantly. Richtofen is a young man.
Yeah, they're all like in their 20s.
They're all in their 20s, and these guys all are happen to be secret agents trying to find the dig site that the Germans have found, which is, I don't know, weird.
It's Dempsey, we need you to go in for your government. There's a dig site. It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
the vibes, let's just say the vibes are freaky.
Let's just say they didn't pass the vibe check.
So, I probably should mention this is a completely different universe. So this is like a parallel universe where these guys haven't been corrupted yet.
Because they don't meet until they're older in the original timeline, but in this timeline they're meeting when they're younger, right?
Correct. They meet at Origins where they're all trying to these three are trying to figure out what the fuck's going on at the Origins dig site, which is where they found the giant pockets of fucking 115, which is the element that creates zombies. And so Richtofen, in that little cutscene at the beginning of Origins, is cutting open the brain of Maxis because he had been bitten and is turning into a zombie. So he wanted to preserve Maxis's brain before he turns, essentially. So he puts it into a little drone and then proceeds to break it into pieces, and then that's part of the Easter egg, is you have to go find the pieces in Origins. And so these guys are all converging on Richtofen, and then they find him and they're like, oh no shit, there's zombies now, we should probably like stick together and kill the zombies. And Richtofen like convinces them to help him, because he's at this point he's not corrupted, so he is actually like trying to be a good person. I mean, he's still a Nazi. At the end of the day, he's still a Nazi.
He's not bad. He's just misunderstood.
He wouldn't personally be friends with a Jew, but he wouldn't be mad like if you're friends with a Jew, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Look,
like,
my
he wouldn't
dear friends,
associate with them, but like he's not gonna be like, oh great, like I'm not gonna friend you guys.
He's not gonna date one, you know?
We have Dempsey, we have Nikolai, we have Takeo, but do not get me started on Horiwtzer. My least favorite member of this expedition. Don't get me started.
So the Easter egg entails you guys sending where's my mouse? Here's my mouse. Okay. Sending Dr. Maxis, this guy over here, to Agartha, which is Agartha is the light side version, essentially, of, it's like a pocket dimension of that, like, how do I explain it? This is unwatchable. I imagine it's probably not.
Oh, I
watchable.
can't wait. I'm sure the editor will fucking do something with it to make it good.
So Agartha is like the place where good souls go. It's been a while since I've refreshed my memory on what the fuck it is. It's heaven, and Aether. The Aether is hell, and so they send Maxis's brain. He doesn't have a soul because he's just a brain. They send his brain into Agartha.
Hold on. You're confusing me drawing the line over. Maxis from the other multiverse? Or Maxis from this? Okay, new Maxis.
New Maxis.
Okay.
Yeah, brain Maxis. He's brain maxing.
Who's got his brain cut out. And that goes to Agartha, which is symbolized by a house.
Hey, real quick question. Did a game mode in Call of Duty where rounds of zombies come in through windows that you board back up need to create its own version of heaven in the lore?
Yes.
I feel like we maybe
to make this all make sense.
Maybe just went a little bit too far with this, but I'm here for it. Let's keep going.
I keep looking down, and I know Nick drew a little gun for Dempsey, but I keep thinking Dempsey in the new timeline is Mr. Crocker because he's just handing the other guys an F. Hoorah, boys! It's time for some fairy godparents! Now that we've got Maxis in heaven, it's time to expose his fairy godparents.
Oh, so after they send Maxis's brain essence to Agartha, which is symbolized by the house, the Easter egg ends. And people were fucking pissed off because this is some meta narrative. The end of the Easter egg shows a cutscene of Edward Richtofen at age like 10 and Samantha Maxis at age like 5 hanging out in a room together during World War I, and they're playing with zombie toys and like toys of like all these characters, and they're just like, oh yeah, like come here Fluffy, and like the dog like walks over, and it's like, oh, so none of this was real. What the actual fuck?
Oh, so they were originally not planning to branch into a separate multiverse, and we're just gonna have it just be like
a cute
memories
little,
of the real Richtofen, and then that. Okay, I see.
This whole fucking thing originally was
just children playing with toys.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it wasn't ever going to be real. Gotcha.
And then they kept going.
Okay.
So they had to write themselves out of that hole. So the house symbolizing Agartha. They essentially were like, yeah, like after Samantha like got her soul swapped with Richtofen, she got like sent to the house, and Richtofen's soul, like for some reason Richtofen's soul is there as well. Like that's what it's like. It's all symbolizing like the struggle.
This is from the other timeline that Richtofen's soul is there?
Yes. So the giant. We move on to Black Ops 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I know in the cutscene for the giant, the two groups like meet, right?
Yes. So Richtofen comes out of a teleporter, shoots his same timeline as this, but this version of himself in this timeline, but it's not this guy.
So he shoots older Richtofen from timeline B.
Correct. Shoots him in the head, kills him, takes his blood, and his soul gets sent to Agartha. And that's where like it picks up with the cutscene of like Samantha and Richtofen playing in the house.
When you're playing the giant, you are playing as older Dempsey, Richtofen. No, sorry, older Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takeo, and younger Richtofen, right?
Yeah, older these guys, younger Richtofen.
From Universe B, not from Universe A.
From Universe B.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
So from there, Primus crew go to Der Eisendrache, and they find alternate timeline. It is so fucking weird. They're hopping timelines. And
so when they go to Der Eisendrache, though, it's still older. The three of them are like 38 or whatever, and Richtofen's 20 still, right? That's consistent now that the giant happened.
No.
No.
So he leaves the older three and goes back to the younger three.
Correct.
Okay.
And the older three go off and do their own things. So Dempsey gets captured by Group 935 trying to spy on them after, I want to say, Veracht. Again, this is all stuff from memory, so if it's wrong, it's definitely like just me misremembering. But so older Dempsey gets captured, and they're trying to fucking fly him to the moon, to Eagle Base, which is
because
this
each
place.
of the maps on Black Ops 3 after that point, you're like rescuing each of the older characters, right? Isn't that like a thing?
No.
Isn't there like Dempsey's like behind a door on one map, Takeo's behind a door on one map or some shit?
So the Easter eggs are to get the blood of older versions of Dempsey, Takeo, and Richtofen. Or not Richtofen. Richtofen has already gotten his own blood in the giant.
Okay.
That's what like he like kneels down and gets. And so Der Eisendrache is to get Dempsey's blood. Zetsubo Nishima is to get Takeo's blood, and then Gorod Kurovi is to get Nikolai's blood.
So they're not rescuing them, they're trying to kill them.
Correct. They are actively trying to kill them to preserve the 20-year-old versions of themselves.
But we're standing by the fact that this is not the older crew from the original timeline. This is still just the future versions of them from the new timeline?
Correct.
Do they touch the older timeline again, or is that just done?
They touch the older timeline again.
Jesus fucking Christ.
These guys will become relevant once more.
Okay. Tim, did you know any of this?
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
I have been playing zombies for years, blissfully unaware of how fucking stupid this is.
You've been playing zombies for like 12 years.
Yeah, and never once did I ever pay attention to, nor did I ever care that there was lore, and I am learning things that I wish that I had just never learned.
What I basically knew was the Giants cutscene, and like asking Nick or whoever, like, hey, what's up with this cutscene? Why is young Richtofen shooting old Richtofen? And then just getting like a very quick notes version of it, in which I thought young Richtofen was the evil one, but whatever. But that was all that I knew. So everything else I didn't really know.
So then we go on to Revelations.
Okay.
Revelations, as you guys know, is the fragmented map that is.
Yeah, and it's got the Apothicon guys.
It has the Apothicons, and it has the Keepers as well. I don't remember if I drew Keepers,
yeah.
They're like the tall guys
the
with
little
squid
squiddy
faces.
Guys.
Yeah.
They're the Squid Game.
And so that Easter egg is essentially banishing the Shadow Man, if I recall. The Shadow Man is one of the evil Apothicons trying to corrupt the universe. He is really only introduced in Revelations.
Okay.
And they also kill him off in the Revelation. Not kill him off, but
here's a big important player. You didn't know about him until just now, and he'll never show up again.
But fucking honestly, I didn't say this was A tier writing there, Tim. But so they banished the Shadow Man, and why are you laughing, Ron?
I knew that the zombies lore was fucking ridiculous, but I'm just thinking about how Tim is learning this like right now, how fucking ridiculous it is, and it's just making me chuckle.
It is very ridiculous. I would stress to you guys after this video, go watch like Mr. Waffle's version. It's like a fucking like 3-hour video. Maybe it's like an hour, but
Tim, Nick says this like when we watch the other video, it's gonna make sense. It's not.
No, it's gonna make the same amount of sense.
It's gonna make more sense than what the fuck I'm going on about right now.
It's almost like this dumb little round-based minigame that they coded in as a bonus was never supposed to be anything.
All right, let me get to Black Ops 3 because that is like, let me finish Black Ops 3 because that is about where my knowledge ends.
Okay. I want you to say like most of what you know about the later games, but go on.
Yeah. Like I know the lore of Black Ops 4, and then past that I know literally nothing. So Revelations happens, the Shadow Man is defeated. At the end of it, did I even bring up the gate worms and all that? Jesus Christ, no I didn't. Oh my god.
What the fuck is a gate worm?
You know in Shadows of Evil.
Oh yeah, the little Easter egg worms.
Oh yeah, we never touched Shadows of Evil. There's like there's a whole other crew there.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on with Jeff Goldblum? Why is he there?
It's a completely separate dimension that was just used to get.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
So now we have Dimension C.
We have Dimension C.
I'm gonna get Dementia at the end of this. Jesus Christ.
Dimension C is where the summoning key is. And that, I remember now. I'm remembering now. Oh my god.
Why did that need to be a separate timeline? Why couldn't they have just been in, like, the Victorian era of one of the other two timelines? Like, why did we need a third timeline for one fucking map?
Fucking great question, Ron. That is a great question. That has no answer. Literally no answer.
To an extent, I like multiverses in media when it's done right, but I also feel like multiverses is just gives writers like a chance to just be like, you know what, clean slate. I don't want to have to fucking worry about like canon.
I will reiterate once more that this is all from memory, and it could also be way better explained by someone that's not me. So multiverse C.
Oh god. Okay. All right.
It is very quick. It's very quick. They have an object called the summoning key. Where's my mouse? The summoning key, which is an orb with different like little symbols on it.
Yeah.
It's like a soccer ball. So the Easter egg of Shadows of Evil is to get the summoning key. And literally at the end of that Easter egg, Richtofen literally goes, "Hey guys, thank you so much for getting that. Yoink, see you later," and leaves their timeline to die. And so now that Richtofen has a summoning key, that's where he's gathering the souls of Nikolai, Tank, and
Takeo.
Jesus Christ, Takeo. Yes, I am. So at the end of the Revelations Easter egg, they talk to Dr. Monty, who is the good, he's not an Apothicon, he's a keeper.
Who the fuck is Dr. Monty?
Another guy who was helping them all along, but
you didn't know that I was helping you all along, but I knew that you knew that I knew that you didn't know.
Yeah, essentially. So he's a character kind of introduced in Revelations. I think he might have been in like different ciphers in earlier maps, but like he was given a character.
Cipher? Is he featured on a fucking rap track? Hey, this is the zombie cipher.
Jesus Christ, you got me off track. So in order for the universe to be normalized, they have to essentially repeat the cycle of these fucks starting off and then becoming these fucks.
So it's a loop.
It is an infinite cycle.
Explain that again.
I don't remember exactly the reasoning of why the cycle is created, but there's a cycle of these guys fight in what's known as the Great War. They're sent back to like the beginning of time to fight in this war from the between the Apothicons and the Keepers. And that, because the Apothicons lose that war, they send the Element 115 meteorites out to the universe to create. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because they lost the war, and they will always lose the war because the Primus crew exists. They like it keeps creating the Primus crew, and then is this making any sense?
No. Where's the other crew come in?
The other crew is in a different dimension.
But you just said it loops back.
It loops back like. Sorry, I am mistaken. It does not loop in with these guys yet.
Okay.
It is these guys meeting. It is these guys meeting in Origins, and then Black Ops 3 happens, and then it loops back to the Great War with
it
the
loops back in
Apothicons.
its own.
3 is an infinite looping universe.
Correct, which allows Dr. Monty to control the again, all fuzzy stuff at this point, but it serves a purpose somehow. So the reason they collected their blood is, this is what breaks the cycle, is Richtofen learns about the cycle and collects the blood of each one of them, so that instead of being sent back in time, they have blood from future versions of themselves that should not exist. And because they each have a vial of their own blood from the future, it prevents them from being sent back in time somehow.
Yeah, some kind of bootstrap paradox bullshit, I guess.
Yeah, essentially, like, they shouldn't exist, so...
Those blood vials. They're from realities we've already closed off. They shouldn't be here. They can't be here. Such a paradox means you're putting my perfect world at risk. You guys and your bloody free will.
If they try to get sent back to fight in the Great War against the Apothicons, then it'll fuck up time or something. I don't know. I don't remember. So they essentially are like, Dr. Monty's like, oh great, like, what am I fucking supposed to do with you guys? And that's the end of Black Ops 3.
Oh, you. What am I gonna do with you guys?
I will be 100% honest. I don't remember very much from Black Ops 4. All I remember is there was a crossover between the Ultimus and Primus crews.
Oh, there is?
There is a crossover.
Okay. One of the maps, you like, Samantha's an adult now and you play as her?
That is Black Ops Cold War.
Is that one of these timelines, or is this timeline D?
No.
Ew. Brother, ew.
All I remember from Black Ops 4, and this is fairly condensed, is Ultimus and Primus team up to essentially erase themselves from the timeline, like all timelines.
Oh, it's like a suicide pact?
Essentially, because then if they don't exist, zombies aren't created.
Dude, imagine being so depressed that you not only kill yourself, you erase yourself from all timelines.
It's like the meme of that kid that like puts up deuces and just like fades away.
Yeah.
The zombies crew after their 4th fucking Black Ops game. All right, I'm gonna head out.
So in the final map of Black Ops 4, which is Tagner Toten, which is Call of the Dead Remastered, essentially, the Victis crew uses some magical MacGuffin to erase both the Ultimus crew and the Primus crew from existence.
The Victis crew is the four
Bingus,
fuckers.
These guys.
Schmingus, and Dingus. Yeah.
From the bus depot? From Transit?
Yes.
Wait a second, you never touched on Mob of the Dead.
I don't think Mob of the Dead has anything to do with the canon.
Okay. Call of the Dead really doesn't much either, right?
No. The only thing that Call of the Dead does add to the canon is add the summoning, not the summoning key, the focusing rod. They find it in Siberia and give it to Richtofen, but other than that, it's like very much. And then there's Blood of the Dead, which is a Black Ops 4 map, which adds so many more layers that I don't even remember. All I remember is Richtofen like getting his blood drained by another Richtofen to fuel like a dying universe or something like that. It is impossibly convoluted. The only zombie storyline I know solidly is World War and Black Ops 1.
So-
Black Ops 2, it's like there's essentially no story and it's pointless. Black Ops 3, it's just like sticking your own head up your own asshole and like pulling until you come out your mouth, and it's just like an infinite fucking like Klein bottle of your own insertion into your own asshole.
So in Black Ops 4, when the crews team up, is this like before? Because didn't original Richtofen die or go somewhere at the end?
This is before Moon. Yeah, it happens before Moon.
It's kind of like Spider-Man No Way Home, where they pull the guys out before like their climax, you know?
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it is after Moon.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It is after Moon. They get back to Earth, and
Why is Richtofen? Does Richtofen like stop hearing the voices and realize he's a good guy now?
no, the original Richtofen, his soul is in what is it?
The house.
The Nether, not the Nether. It's
The bad one.
The bad one. The bad version. And
the
So
city.
he's not there.
So Richtofen's soul is in New Jersey.
yes. And then Dr. Maxis sends Zombie Richtofen, which is after Black Ops 2, and connects with Samantha's body, or Richtofen's body, which has Samantha in it, and it kicks Samantha's soul out, and that's why she's in the house. And he gets his soul back from like after Black Ops 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were
Yeah,
like,
it
hey,
is-
Richtofen, go to New Jersey. Just kidding. Now that you've been in New Jersey, go to Maine. Got it.
You know that Maxis took his head, he took his soul out of the Aether. That's it. The Aether takes Maxis' soul out of the, or Richtofen's soul out of the Aether and puts him into a zombie body. And the zombie body just fucking wanders aimlessly and forever until Maxis picks up his zombie body and puts his soul back into his original body before the events of
So was
Black Ops 2 happened.
Richtofen controlling Samantha, or was Samantha controlling Richtofen?
At what point are you asking this question?
Nick's like, yes.
Any point.
No, they were never controlling each other. They swapped bodies.
What?
That's
When
Black
was
Ops
that?
1. Moon.
Moon. That's why you open up the shit.
Yeah, when you open up the pyramid and you get all the perks.
Yeah, it's all part of Richtofen's pyramid scheme.
Essentially, yeah.
This whole game is a pyramid scheme.
Okay.
So at the end of Black Ops 4, all I remember is they erase themselves from the timeline, except for Samantha and some
doesn't work,
younger
because they're still zombies.
boy. Right. It doesn't work. They erase themselves. So they
That's
wanted
tough,
to.
bro.
They really went out there and went, ah! And then it didn't work.
Black Ops 4 was supposed to be like, all right, fuckers, we're done with this story, this convoluted ass story. We're either gonna start from scratch or not fucking do a story anymore. And then Black Ops Cold War came out, and they're like, what if?
Hear me out.
So are the characters in Cold War at all?
No.
Yeah,
And
because that's where they just start doing that. You're like it's like RPG. You're just like a random. You're creating.
you're just a random fucking operator. But in Black Ops 6, Richtofen's back? Question mark. And he's working at the Pentagon? Question mark. Like this is all lore that I stopped worrying about.
All right, Nick, you got to research everything that you don't know so that you can drunkenly do a sequel to this video.
I will do my damnedest. If this gets
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good
We're
idea.
putting a number on it.
if this gets 1,000 views,
I think it will.
if this gets 1,000 views and call it 15 comments from
That's
different
low.
people,
I think
is
that's
that low?
Yeah, let me look.
Okay. Well,
I have no
what would
idea.
be a good 30 comments, 40 comments, 50 comments?
Why don't you just say likes like a normal fucking YouTuber?
Yeah,
dude?
you fucking weird ass.
I guess, yeah. If this gets 500 likes and 1,000 views,
So yeah, our newest
so
video.
half
Our
of-
newest video has 15 unique comments.
then I will do a part 2. I will research it, wait a month, and then give you the
How many likes did you want?
500.
That's
Is
way
that
too
too
high.
Okay.
That's gonna be unattainable.
If you're saying 1,000 likes or 1,000 views, that like half of the people like it, that's not gonna happen. You need to say like
Okay.
50.
100 likes.
Maybe it could get to 100 likes. Maybe that would be
If we
just-
get to 100 likes,
that would be an insane record for us. Like I don't think we've really peaked 50 before, but
and I'm gonna downvote this.
I would say you should say 50.
I'm solidly with 100. It's a nice round number.
I see a video where we have over 100 likes actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you guys liked this, and I don't know why you would, me drunkenly rambling for a fucking hour and a half or so.
Yeah, so if you want a part 2 where Nick has to research a little bit more into Black Ops 4, Cold War, there's probably like MW3 shit and fucking Vanguard shit and fucking Black Ops 6 shit. If you want Nick to research all of that, get drunk, and then summarize it for us, drop a like because we need to get to 100 likes, and obviously share the
likes
video.
And we'll make it happen, people.
And get to at least 1,000 views, which if we get to 100 likes, we will be well over 1,000 views. I'm not worried about that part of it. So unless this video flops and has like 200 views, I don't know. But yeah. Anything else, Nick?
Go watch Mr. Waffle's video after this, because I mean, like, he's got millions of fucking views.
Go subscribe to a different channel.
I'm not saying subscribe.
Leave this channel instead of watching more of our content. Watch somebody else's content.
Go watch the full recap and tell me how well I did.
Or if you just know Zombies lore, just feel free to just call Nick out on inaccuracies in the comments.
Well, I do want to stress that I will tell you you're wrong in the comments, and I will berate you for trying to seem smarter than me.
Okay.
Nick's
even
like,
if I am wrong.
I will be belligerent and I will hurt your feelings.
I will be drunkenly replying to all comments so that you guys fucking feel bad. I don't know.
Also, if you have any other ideas for videos that you want to see from us, drop a comment.
Leave them down there, down below.
All right, guys, this has been Nunk. This has been Nunk.
That's my alter ego.
Yeah, that's Drunk Nick's nickname. This has been Nunk. Drunk. This has been Drunk Nunk recalls zombie lore.
This has been Nunk drunk in a bunk.
This has been Drunk Nunk recalls zombie lore from memory without looking it up or fact checking it, and tells it to us. If you like this video,
this has been Nick drunkenly recapping zombies lore. If you liked the video and liked what you saw, give us a like and a comment down below on ideas you would like us to do in the future, or any joke ideas. Leave them down below. We'd love to hear them.
If this video gets to 500 views, I'll do drunk Fallout lore.
Oh, bonus goal, stretch goal.
Yeah. Stretch goal.
That's literally smaller.
Yeah, but it's shut up.
I'll fucking do it right now. All right. So there's this thing called the vault.
Bye, guys.
Bye.